الحمد لله رب العالمين الصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أرسله بالحق بشيرا ونذيرا ربي زدني علما رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا وحبيبنا وشفيعنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. قال الله تعالى في القرآن الكريم أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم فإن مع العسر يسرا إن مع العسر يسرا صدق الله العظيم. In these ayahs, or these couple ayahs of Quran that I have recited to you, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that with every difficulty in life that you may face, there will be time of easiness. Now the time of easiness may follow right away, could follow after many years. Sometimes in life we face difficulties which could be short-term. Sometimes we face difficulties which could be long-term. The idea is to never lose hope, never lose faith. In who? In Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because everything comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and everything returns back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that's exactly what we say when we are hit with any calamity of life. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. And that's exactly what we should practice as a believer. And that should help us to strengthen our faith. If you look at the linguistics of the ayahs that I've recited to you, Inna ma'al usri yusra. The usr is with the al, the article, in both ayahs. And the yusr is without an article. So if you're looking at the linguistics of it, the al-usr and al-usr comes twice, but is regarded as one. Yusr comes twice, and is regarded as two. So ulama of lughah, the linguistics say that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling you, with one difficulty, I'll provide you with 2 times the easiness. This is the blessings and mercy from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's why when a believer ponders over the Quran, looks at the different perspectives and angles of Quran, the mind opens up. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, you should look at within yourselves, أنفسكم, and also fil afaq, and your surroundings, including where you live in and beyond. The whole universe has been given to you. Why? Usually anything outside of the solar system doesn't really affect me, but for you to explore and learn and understand and excel. Now look at it in the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, أَفَلَا يَنْظُرُونَ إِلَى الْإِبِلِ كَيْفَ خُلِقَتْ. Have you not seen how I have created the camel? That doesn't mean you put a camel in front of you and start staring at it. That doesn't mean that. It means you got to do some research. Understand this unique animal, that sometimes it comes with 1 hump, sometimes it comes with 2 humps. Based on where it is in the world, it could have more or less hair. Look at the camels from Mongolia versus the camels found in Arabia. They come in different colors. They come in different breeds, different heights, different sizes. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us, give an example to open up how you think. And the example was given to the Arabs because that was the animal that they were most familiar with. It could have been if the people were familiar with hippopotamus, which is also a very different animal of its kind, or rhinoceros, or elephant, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would have given that example. So something that you are so familiar with, have you bothered to explore? أَفَلَا يَنْظُرُونَ إِلَى الْإِبِلِ كَيْفَ خُلِقَتْ. Anybody who knows a little bit of Arabic will say, well, in Arabic we use the word jamal, but in Arabic sometimes you have 50 words to express one object. So when you start learning Arabic as a language, you only get familiarized with a single noun. If you ask the first grader in Arabic, what do you call lion? You'll say asad. But in Arabic you have haydar, also identifying a lion in a certain state of mind. Abbas, Hamza, different states, representing different kinds. Similarly, if you look at the horses, they are hisan, but also adiyat, talks about horses. So you have to look at Quran in different angles, different perspectives, that opens up the basics and that opens up how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is communicating with us. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to ponder, look at things and understand. That's why right in the next ayah Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, أَفَلَا يَنْظُرُونَ إِلَى الْإِبِلِ كَيْفَ خُلِقَتْ وَإِلَى السَّمَاءِ كَيْفَ رُفِعَتْ. And look at the sky, how I'm holding it. And not one, not two, 7 of them. No pillars. Each one of them is being created from different materials. But the earth, even though there are 7, but are of the same form. وَالْأَرْضُ مِثْلَهُنَّ. What is their nature? Same. But if you look at the skies are created from different materials as you start going up the order. Hadith talks about the details of one of them being created from silver, and one created from gold, and one created from the emerald, and so on and so forth. We are not here to discuss that. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, okay, now let me show you an object in between the two. أَفَلَا يَنْظُرُونَ إِلَى الْإِبِلِ كَيْفَ خُلِقَتْ وَإِلَى السَّمَاءِ كَيْفَ رُفِعَتْ وَإِلَى الْجِبَالِ كَيْفَ نُصِبَتْ. Something in between the camel and the sky, mountains. Look how I have put it in the ground, like nails. If I would not have put it like that, your earth will take you and wobble. It will be weightless. The idea is to think, ponder, look at the life as a test. That's exactly what Quran says. This life is a test. And we will test you. We will test you in hunger, we'll test you in fear, we'll test you in yourselves, we'll test you in the luxuries of life. But at the end of the day, it will be checked to see, ayyukum, which among you, came back with the best deeds. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has a plan for everything. If you open up the Quran, read about the story of Yusuf alayhi salam, you will see so much sorrow and sadness. However, the end result is great. Look at the story of Musa alayhi salam. Look at the story of Ayyub alayhi salam. Look at the story of Ibrahim alayhi salam. Look at the story of Yunus alayhi salam, Nuh alayhi salam, Salih alayhi salam, Hud alayhi salam, Dawood alayhi salam, Sulaiman alayhi salam, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Each and every one of them, you will see inna ma'al usri yusra in their lives. Why? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala don't just want us to read these stories as stories, rather draw messages for our life from them. Do you think what we are facing today was never faced by believers? They faced worse. When people in Makkah, when they started accepting Islam, in the earlier days complained to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam about the torments and the punishments they are going through, the Prophet said, you have no clue what the people before you went through. People before you would cut in two pieces like you chop woods. So there were times. Look at the history of Jerusalem, the Jerusalem, the so-called believers in different times. After Musa alayhi salam, what did they go through at the hands of different kings? Whole city destroyed, kicked out, went as slaves. Prophets are born while they are enslaved, while they are living a miserable life. But then comes a rise and sustenance. But then when they deviated from the right path, Allah punished them again. So there are times when you should look back at ourselves and say, why in the world are we facing the kind of things we are facing? Is it just a test? Or is it to shake us? To make the best out of us? What is the reason things are happening around? Look at 57 Muslim countries. Research? Nothing. What do they produce? What breakthrough came out of them? But on the other hand, Muslims, when they went to other places where researches were getting done, they excelled. That means smart individuals lacking resources. There's nothing wrong with individuals. Nothing wrong with them. They just do not have enough resources at hand. So, those of us who are fortunate enough to be in lands where we can excel, what is our excuse that we're not excelling? Other than being lazy, other than being not thinking through. Quran says, for the man, irrespective of the religion, there's nothing for the man except for what the man works hard for. أَلَّيْسَ لِلْإِنسَانِ إِلَّا مَا سَعَى. This test is for everybody. Just because I'm a believer, that doesn't mean things will be given to me in a plate. I got to strive. I got to work hard to attain those results. So the idea is that we all get back to our little thinking, brainstorming sessions with ourselves and see how can I make a difference? And have a goal and look at that goal and see how I can accomplish that. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم.